Here we go, guys. Right.
Be interesting to say like about some naval history,
Yeah.
like I mean, so to the players that are just joining PA or recently, even in a few months, you've already seen the matchmaking, and you've got Poseidon of a great naval map. But naval is a relatively not new thing because it's been in PA for a long time, but relatively new, balanced, or relatively new to the meta.
Yeah. I mean, probably it's within two patches that submarines were added, and that significantly changed the meta. As well, they changed the way that. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm just gonna introduce these players. So we have Bomble over here in white, and we have Belladar in yellow. Pictured on the. So right now we can see a big difference in the openings. We have yellow starting off with boats, white starting off with an air factory. Both totally legitimate builds. Boats tend to be a bit stronger, but it'll take them a lot longer to get where they're going. Air is a lot faster, but
What do you choose when you play this map?
when I do this, I like to go. I like to go naval. I honestly I like to go full naval these days. I mean, with the changes that they made to narwhals, that's the one, right? With the narwhals, they now have anti-air, anti-ship, and they have torpedoes, which is great. So it's like you can actually expand in every direction, and you're safe from air attacks. And they trade pretty well against other units of that type. So I honestly I just go full naval because in the end it's going to come down to control. But air can be used to score some sweet economic gains early, which we can see with White doing his little proxy over there.
Yeah.
But but honestly, the thing is like your boat expansion will only really come under threat from air and boat expansion, which you can counter by just covering them with narwhals. So, I mean, unless we see like really early aggression from someone, usually I think it's just a good idea to go boats. But we're gonna see how that pays off. They're both getting into the air.
I mean, the back of the planet is always an interesting one. There's a big expanse of water.
Yeah, yeah, it's super key.
Yeah.
There's a lot of metal there to be had.
But it's the boats are going to be obviously if they haven't got to dodge around islands, it's a great direct path to the other guy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because that's the thing. Also, the pathing on boats is good if you've just got an opening. That's massive. Just caught that as well.
Well,
Again, like we were talking in the last game, early fabric kills are whatever unit possibly getting the fabric kill. It's just great. There's something that's about to happen here. Yellow's not even aiming for it, but it's just gonna happen. Oh god. So yeah, so they're both on the same foot kind of. But Belladar, we can see he's really got a great naval presence, and he's getting back up those lost fabbers. He's got a small lead, 85 to 64 metal at the moment. Appear that White lost his little proxy on the back of the island, and this scout's probably gonna take him out. Just a single bomber from White could really help him stop that. Yellow seems to be committed to doing some harass all around. He's got quite a few piranhas sort of running around.
again, great tactic. Just divide your opponent's attention.
Yeah, oh totally. And that's honestly a thing. In previous patches, I felt like piranhas were just kind of a gimmick, but in this latest round of patches, they've really pulling their own weight.
Harassment is the key. They're great at it.
Yeah,
They move so quick.
yeah. Their comparative speed. I mean, when you compare them to anything else, it's just they're crazy fast. They are the doxes of the sea.
I'd also like to point out like the quality of a player. So I mean, I myself don't spend as much time playing PA as I should, but what you tend to see is even for myself, I very often put the factories around the wrong way. So as the unit exits, it has to go around.
Yeah, Oh yeah, yeah, where they have to sort of walk around the factory.
Yeah.
Well, that can sometimes be good in a defensive situation. If you're being sieged, that's nice, because then the factory gets targeted. But yeah, generally,
So as you can see here, yellow is positioned his factories to point down straight, so he's
yeah,
just got a clear run.
yeah,
That's exactly
exactly.
what they're doing. The waypoints, I think, are
That's what you want. You can see here. So if people are unfamiliar, there are submarines. So you can see actually here there was a little fight that broke out here. Um, and the submarines, like, so they do quite a bit more damage than the narwhals with their torpedoes. But the problem is just that they themselves are quite weak. So actually, like, in a fight between narwhals and the submarines, narwhal comes out ahead. Yeah, a little bit of harass there. Couple of docks.
don't think they
Shut
can,
down.
yeah. I mean, that's also a tactic you'll see players using on maps like this.
Mhm.
Docks are obviously amphibious, and they make great land raiders.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I've had many matches where there have been some big problems started by just a couple of combat fabbers and a bunch of docks coming over onto my island, setting up a teleporter, and then it can get messy. Especially when you're playing like Belladar is and just going full naval. But at the moment, it seems to be paying off for him. He's got a better control of the seas.
Yeah, I mean, as we've seen in previous games, he really does plan ahead and takes significant map control very quickly.
Yeah, I mean you can see he's got a little guy running off over there, another expanding over here, and all the while he's sending out these nice tight knit little groups of like narwhals and orcas mixed together, just to cause some damage.
Which is a great composition.
Yeah,
A 2-to-1 for orcas and narcals.
yeah,
The
yeah,
range, and you've got the anti-sub capabilities, anti-air.
yeah. That's what you really want.
And how often not do you have you seen a big batch of orcas just ripped to pieces by bombers?
Yeah, it's over there. Yeah. So this is looking good for Belladar. He's a really good player at just sort of like getting all over the map. White seems to be kind of focused in on one particular task. Here we see him colonizing the land, but I mean that's really only going to give him one max. It's not. I honestly wouldn't bother with factories at this point. But again, like you were talking about earlier, this might turn into some docks harass on some of the smaller islands. Because there's even some spots like right here where the docks can actually stand on these mini islands and fire at mechs placed there. So maybe we'll see something like that.
Mm.
Again, yellow just reinforcing his position here, making sure he's maintaining. So this is something that I really love right here. This is totally my style.
Little
I'm a
radar.
big fan of that. Get a radar. Just get a radar. It's great. Like
We did just lose that Faber.
yeah.
No, intel is another big part of play. You have to know what your players are doing. You
Yeah.
can't just sit. You've got to be continuously pushing forward, scouting them,
Yeah.
seeing where you're going to have to be in 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, especially with naval battles. I mean, the thing is just that they move so slowly, which I mean, is technically it's good from a defensive standpoint, but only if you have the intel to back it up. So it's like, yeah, maybe it takes like a full 2 minutes for a massive fleet to arrive on your doorstep, but by the time it arrives, you can't really scramble the proper defensive force to like come in and get rid of it. You're already just whatever's there is already what you're gonna have to fight it off with. So maintaining that level of information on the map is so important. Go
There's a
yellow doing
big
some
old
nice
group.
harass. Yellow just coming in from two angles. Big group as well moving in. This is rough. Belladar is looking.
Yeah, this is early economy's a huge different scale now.
Oh yeah, and if you check out Bomble's view, he actually can't see what's going on right now. He's blind. His radar is down because he is tanking on energy, which is a direct result of. Yeah, I mean he just didn't get into the energy game. It's three energy for all of its stuff. It's going to cost him.
I mean, the amount of units Yellow's putting out now is huge.
Yeah, no, yeah. Let's take a look over full tab. So yeah, so we have Belladar with 48 to Bomble's 30 mobile units. Again, like I'm seeing White put out a lot of submarines, and I don't think he's quite realizing the current meta, where these subs are going to go down really quick. The narwhals can take two torpedoes apiece, but the barracudas can only take one torpedo. So it's really just not going to work out for him.
Yeah, there we go. See, that was obviously very one-sided.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, so I mean that's the thing is like if he'd gotten into the narwhal game or maybe the orca game, like he'd have a chance, but this just isn't looking good. He's at a third of the metal, he's at half of the energy, and his unit count is way low.
And we have a second group moving in now. If that commander's going to get pinched quite badly,
yeah,
those orcas will move into shore, and it will all be over.
Yeah, and you know we've got roving bands all over the map for Yellow, just going to town. So I would say that there's no hope at this point. This is probably a done. So where do you think what do you think went wrong for Bumble?
So it was a combination of lack of aggression,
Yeah,
and lack of intel.
yeah, yeah. Because he had a pretty good air force this whole game, but you can see it sitting idle in various parts of the map. Which I mean, I'm not even fully against idle, but you know, spread them out. Like he's got 3 little guys grouped up right there. Spread them out over a distance so that you know they can check like a whole band for incoming.
Yeah, I think it was the aggression thing. You know, aggression doesn't just mean you send your units to go kill some other units. It means aggression as an expanding aggression. You have to be out there claiming the metal spots, and I just didn't see Bumble with that claiming aggression.
Yeah, no. Well, yeah, you need an intense sense of entitlement to play this well. You know, it's like if you look at Poseidon, right, there's probably 75 metal spots, 50 metal spots, right? Half of those are yours by right, and then you want to steal the rest of them from your opponent as well. And yeah, he just didn't have the proper entitlement, knowing that was his metal, taking it.
I think that's a good title, resource entitlement.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be greedy, because you know, I mean, if you're polite and you take what's clearly yours, you know, then you'll lose because they're just going to take what's arguably.
And they're going to have the resources to back up that claim as well.
Oh yeah. Geopolitical struggle, man. Argument over reason. Deep stuff. Stuff going on in this game.
So well done, Belladar.
What's that?
Well done for winning.
Yep.
You got that.
Yep.
What do you reckon? We'll see him in the final.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about Belladar, man. I mean, he's playing a really good game, and I'm curious to see where he goes from here.